neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Two teams that have met at least twice a year since 1932. The Lions and Packers underway from Lambeau. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. He'll go right back to St. Brown. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
Now this throw caught left side, and he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Brought down that time by Quay Walker. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the 1st round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. They'll set up a throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks him, and the Packers are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, this defense for the Lions, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Well, the middle linebacker to 4-3, so often the captain of the defense gets them all lined up, and the captain made a great read there to snuff that play out.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. The Packers at a disappointing 1-4 as they start play. If they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W, they have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Now Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And his kick here is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. It's a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now back to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
They'll run on first down. Knox. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Looking for Tonyan on the crosser, and he's got it complete.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Robert Tonyan,
his first touchdown on the year.
and the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point up and through, and the lead grows to 10-0.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Quay Walker.
And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Given 15 there, the Packers have a first. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Give them the completion, no gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, the hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out,
He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quay Walker. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game. And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly. Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. The 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, I mean, it hadn't been a picture-perfect first half for this defense to this point, but that's a big play to get them right back in the ballgame.
And I think that changes their mind frame. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we're still in this. And even though our offense hasn't done anything, we've had our troubles on our own right, we still made a play right there that could change the course of this game. Great job delivering.
Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Nice job. Nice patience right there. Put him on the right side. Let him work his way across. Put the ball in his hands and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down. And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Rodgers now on first down. Open man, Amari Rodgers complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade Oluokun. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. On second down, Swift. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
To throw now on first down. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, that's always a risk on those longer kicks. You have to drive it low to get it there. That opened the door for a better chance for the defense to get a hand on it, and that's just what we saw there.
And even if the odds increase a little bit because it's a longer field goal attempt, it's still difficult to get hands on the football and create a block. Big-time excitement for that unit, getting through and knocking that one away.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On second and 10, Rodgers. That'll be caught by Rodgers. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back, That one ended up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They run the counter. Knox. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles about the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. To throw is Rodgers. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. picked by Jeff Okudah. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football open to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
That pass caught. It's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The end result, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out there.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Flushed out right. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. Fourth down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on third and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. Patterson's kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Swift going to try up the middle. 47 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Now that's the kind of run that fires up an entire team. Tackled at the 2-yard line. For the defensive guys, a little bit of a sigh of relief, though, that they stopped him short of the goal line. Now they got to figure out how to shore up the rest of the...
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. DeAndre Swift with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Got Dobbs over the middle. And the Packers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Jones, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
On 2nd down now, Knox. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Lions are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
The open man is Shark. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Back to throw here. And he can't escape, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
The 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
you were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
From the gun, here's Swift. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
So with your team leading in the fourth quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces third and long.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. On the handoff, this is Swift. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down. They were 3 for 3 converting on third downs on this drive, but that time didn't quite get there.
Yeah, defensively, maybe they just said, we're tired of this. Time to make a stand. And if you really want to pick this one up, you have to go for it on fourth down. And typically, on fourth down, the odds shift to the defense.
Riley Patterson on. A lot of pressure on this kick. This to make it a 2-score game. Patterson's kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tonyan. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Lead it out left to Dobbs. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. That's taken in by Watson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Back to throw, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Rodgers to throw. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first. Now Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So the clock shows 55 seconds to play as they line up for a critical onside kick. And this will be covered up by the Lions, and that might just about seal the deal. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
But without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Detroit, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll be off to